Most DBs lose at the line of scrimmage before the route even starts. Not because they're slow, not because they're out of position, because they don't have enough tools to deal with the receiver who closes space off the ball. I was a zero-star recruit who walked on twice, earned a scholarship, and played in the NFL. Since then, I've helped over 100 DBs level up their game. And one of the biggest things I've learned, when a receiver cuts your space in half at the line, your eyes, your feet, and hands all have to speed up and process faster. Most DBs panic. Elite DBs have tools. Today, I'm going to give you 3 tools you can use on day 1 that will immediately help you win one-on-one reps at the line of scrimmage. Let's get into it. Real quick, before we dive in, if you want one-on-one help with your DB game, I work with high school and college players through online training. There's a link in the description to apply for a free call. All right, let's get into it. First, let's talk why space matters. As a DB, proper spacing allows you to effectively use your eyes, feet, and hands. When you have space, you can process, you can react, you can make plays. But when a receiver comes off the ball and tries to close that space, he's cutting it nearly in half. Now he's closer, which means your eyes, feet, and hands all have to speed up. Now you have less time to process, less time to react. So in order to gain that space back, in order to gain those milliseconds, here are 3 tools you need in your bag. The first tool is called resetting the line of scrimmage. Here's why it's so effective. When a receiver comes off the ball, he's closing that space, nearly cutting it in half. Watch how this DB resets the line of scrimmage by hopping back. Now he's gaining back that initial space he lost, rebalancing the playing field. But if you think it's just hopping back, you're mistaken. There's a method to it. Before you reset the line, you need to make sure your stance is inside your frame or very slightly outside. Now you're probably asking why. Because if you're already in a wide stance, that means when you hop back, you're going to be even more wide. Where you start is how you should look at the end. Now, your feet, this is probably the most critical part. And 90% of DBs mess this up. There are typically 2 mistakes. Mistake 1, they end up getting caught with both feet in the air. So by the time you land, the receiver is already gone. When you're resetting the line, the front part of your foot should slightly scrape the ground. That way, if you get caught, what if he doesn't try to close space and just speed releases? Then you're able to react because your feet are in the ground. You see how I gave you a counter for a counter? That's from experience, doing it wrong, making it to where you want to be, and lending you the experience so you can have a great foundation. The second tool is what I call inching back or motoring back. They're all within the same family to me. Now, I enjoy this technique is because it's very similar to resetting the line of scrimmage. You're regaining the space that you lose from the receiver's initial release. Now, in order to properly do this correctly, you need to have good spacing from the jump. If you're too close to the receiver, he can close the space faster than you can take that jam step. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have your feet in the ground so you can react quickly. But typically, from what I've seen, feet here isn't the issue. It's typically the eyes. Now, you're probably asking, why do I say that? Because of this. When you inch back, most DBs pad level rises. Just pay attention to this DB shoulder. You see how it's starting to slightly rise? Now, when your shoulders lift, the thing that sits on top of your shoulders starts to lift too, which could make you bring your eyes up. And when your eyes come up, you bout on shoulder fakes, you bout on head fakes, and you're beat. So when you're motoring back, keep your pad level down, keep your eyes disciplined on the hips, stay disciplined. The third tool is what I call the mix up, the quick jam. I put it last because it's not something you want to do every rep. But as we can see, this is another way to help deal when receivers are trying to close that gap right off the line. You see how he comes off the line and then boom. Now, in order to do this correctly, there are a few things you need to know. 1, you need to already make the decision that you're going to do it this rep. Any indecisiveness can lead you to sipping Gatorade on the bench. So your cue is when the receiver moves, you strike. But you always want to use your inside foot to strike with and protect yourself. You see when he uses that inside foot, he's already at an angle to push off and play the vertical. So even if you miss, You can turn your head and get upfield and at least protect the deep ball to live another day. Now, where you're aiming at the receiver's chest. Because if you can get into his chest, you can mess up the timing and slow down the rhythm. And if it's a slant, you just speed turn out of it. And once again, a counter for the counter. So at the line, make a committed decision. Make sure when you strike, that inside foot comes up, hands target the receiver's chest area. Here's your homework. Next practice, next training session, next one-on-one, pick one tool, just one. Reset the line of scrimmage, inch, motor back, or the quick jam. Make the decision before the rep, execute, and watch what happens. Watch how the receiver reacts when you take away his release. Watch how your confidence changes when you have a tool instead of a reaction. One rep at a time, one tool at a time. That's how you become elite at the line of scrimmage. Go shut those receivers down. Real quick, I've helped Don, I've helped Jonathan, I've helped David, and plenty of other DBs. If you want results, I work with high school, college kids through my online training program. I give you drills that translate on the field. I watch your drills with you, right? Because you can watch the drills I do or show on YouTube and still do them wrong. And I teach you film study at a high level so you can make plays. Now, I only work with selective people. If you're serious about reaching your next level, there's a link in the description to apply for a free 20-minute strategy call. Fill out the quick application, and if you're a good fit, we'll book a time to talk. If you're under 18, your parents need to be on the call with you. Man, if this video has helped, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you on the next one. Let's get better.